All right, everyone, we're back. We're back on the island. We're on island time. Is that an offensive term? Island time? I feel like any time I say, is that an offensive term, you kind of just have to assume that it's an offensive term. Oh, Blizzard. Oh, this is great. It's just starting to get hot here. The last couple nights have been horrible. So hot in our home. And I'm dying. And I wish I was dead. Under the best of circumstances, I wish I was dead. Holy shit. That guy came out of fucking nowhere. Under the best of circumstances, I wish I was dead. But also, I don't do well in the heat. Or, I'm fine in the heat. It's just, boy, it feels like I'm dying. And like, what's worse than, you can't sleep at night because it's so fucking hot? Is there anything worse than that? I would pose that no, there's not. Glad I got that guy. I just like, I hate summer. I hate the heat. I love the winter. I love the cold. Make whatever jokes you may about, the outside weather reflecting my heart. I'm fine with that. Whoa. I'd kind of forgotten about these guys until I was playing this time. And they're just like, the shooting them 3 times, that whole thing just feels like, it's like a bullet sponge thing, in a game where it's like a bullet sponge isn't really a thing, but in this game it's definitely a thing. 'Cause there it is. Now I feel like I need to kill this guy because I feel like there's probably something awaiting me if I were to do so. Yeah. Okay. But, I don't know, like, the thing is, okay, we probably had the coldest winter on record, and by that I don't necessarily mean, like, we broke state records of cold or something. I mean, it was a pretty hard winter. We had a lot of snow. It was fairly cold, but also, our gas was out for like a week when it was pretty cold, and it was like 40 degrees in the house. And like 40 degrees, if I were to go outside and they're like, it's 40 out today, I'd be like, all right, that's certainly not warm, but that's not like horrific in terms of cold, in my opinion. But when 40 degrees is the inside temperature, man, is it cold. It's pretty damn cold. Oh, hello. And, so like, I've had a pretty good winter in terms of, being able to enjoy the cold. So it's like harder for me to complain than normal. But, I'm not going to say I can't complain. I probably haven't told this story on this before. So, my first apartment, I moved out with a friend, and we lived there. He lived there with me for a pretty long time. And then I lived there for a few years after he left by myself. And I was lucky enough. So we did a coin toss for the bedrooms because one of the bedrooms in there was a little bigger than the other. And I won. The other big thing, though, was that the bedrooms, one of them had an AC unit in the window. You know, just that one of those shitty window units that works-ish, but, you know, not great. It doesn't, you know, a window unit is pretty nice for a bedroom and kind of manages a bedroom okay, but when there's one window unit in an apartment, and especially if that window unit is in one of the bedrooms as opposed to like the living room, kind of sucks. Especially sucks if you're not the person sleeping in that bedroom. So, you know, and I didn't really think about it a whole lot. Well, and here's what was funny too. When we originally moved in, you know, we were both like, all right, what we'll do is, was that ice noise? Yep. Sure. Oh God, there's little guys frozen in the ice. That's horrible. Anyway, so we move in and, you know, I won the coin toss, but, you know, we were like, all right, so I'll take this room for the first year and then, you know, next year we'll switch. And that was like kind of the initial plan. I think that was the initial plan. I'm almost positive. And because also, I know we discussed it because after a year I was like, okay, so I guess, you know, do you want to switch? And my roommate was like, I am too lazy for that shit. Because, you know, we both had all crap in our rooms. And I think also we didn't necessarily know we'd be there for like several years. So, you know, I don't know, maybe losing that room at the time wasn't a big deal to him or something. I'm not sure. For all I know, he still harbors regrets or anger about it. Although, I don't think so. Just because it was a coin toss, and then he was the, you know, I offered, and he was like, I'm too lazy to do it. And I was like, I'm really glad you said that, but, you know, also, not just because I get to stay in the larger room with the AC unit, but boy, does that not hurt. My second place was a studio apartment where all the you know, it had climate controlled. Also, it was a garden level, which, you know, if you're inexperienced renting, and you don't know, oh shit, I'm having my controller break down again. There we go. If you're inexperienced renting and you don't know what garden level is mostly underground. You probably have some windows that are like at the bottom of the window is ground level, right? That's kind of how garden level works. I don't know what's special about these flashing. Oh, hello. What? What was that? That just came out of fucking nowhere. How would I have ever gotten that? Oh my god. Terrible. Shot his son. Oh, he's depressed. Wonder if I can go back and get that guy to... Oh, damn it. Probably not. I want that red coin. Jumping through the trees. Snow. So my second apartment was the studio. All utilities included. And it was garden level. So it was pretty cool most of the time. But, like, I would literally turn on the AC fucking full blast. Leave it on all night. And it worked, you know? It was like... Because my second apartment was a studio. It was in a school building that had been converted into apartments. By somebody. Well, great. So, I never had problems there. Now, my next apartment... So, this is the bullshit one, and, like, basically the whole reason for this. Was... So, Poonmaster Flex found a place for us. And it was very nice of her. And when the realtor... So, the realtor who was our landlord. Well, I know I missed at least one coin already, so I guess it doesn't really matter. The realtor who was our landlord, this was like her first renting experience. And so, I don't know. Some of the things she did, I was like, maybe are attributable to being a newbie. But I also think some of it, it's, what is that game? It's like Stupid or Evil. And sometimes I think she was kind of evil. Sometimes I think she was stupid. But so, when Poonmaster Flex went to look at the place, what the landlord told her was that, times 0. Oh, man. The landlord told her there was AC in there. Or she said it's climate controlled. And it was like, great. Turns out she was like, I didn't say there was AC here. I said there was the hookups for AC, if we chose to get it down the road. Which I was like, that's fucking bullshit. Because why would you tell a renter that? Why would I as a renter care if, someday you could have AC? It's like, well, yeah, so someday if, somebody who isn't you wanted to rent this place, we could get AC. And I'd be like, okay, great. That affects me not at all. So, I'm like pretty sure that this was a lie. Because, it doesn't make sense, right? I'm pretty sure. And Poonmaster Flex is a detail-oriented person. Now, I am not. So if it had been me, if it had been me, and she was like, no, I told you this, I would be like, I'm pretty sure. But the other thing is, I kind of asked Poonmaster Flex, like, make sure it's got AC, okay? Because of some kind. It can be a window unit, even though I'm not a huge fan, but it's got to have something. And so I'm sure she asked, and I'm sure the landlord misled her by saying, yes, it's got AC, and then later reversing to be like, oh, well, it's got the hookups for AC, should we choose to get it at some point. Biggest bunch of bullshit ever. Super frustrating, right? Because you're just like, I mean, come on, lady. We weren't asking for anything spectacular or like, I don't think we were asking for something unreasonable. And it's not, AC was a deal breaker for me. But, she didn't know that. And also, it's like, well, I think I'm allowed to have a deal breaker or two. And like, if you're the landlord, here's a thing that sucks about renting, among many other things. Your landlord can have deal breakers, right? And your landlord can be like, well, listen, we're not gonna do pets. And if you have pets, you've broken the deal, and I might kick you out, or I might charge you an exorbitant amount. Who knows? But like, as a tenant, you can't really go the other way and be like, I feel like you kind of broke the deal. Even though that's how I feel about this situation, was like, I think the deal was broken on us, not the other way around. But whatever. She was kind of a shitty landlord. I mean, like, I don't know. She also was like telling us, because so eventually the house got a ticket because there's a thing called the Parkway, which is a term used for, how you've got the sidewalk and then you've got like a worthless 18 inches of grass between the sidewalk and the street. That's the Parkway. Now, we didn't have a mower because, well, A, we didn't think we needed one. B, I'd never lived in a place that had any kind of yard. C, when we lived in this place, we shared the backyard. So it was a house that was divided. There was upstairs and downstairs to it. And we lived in the upstairs and we had neighbors in the downstairs. The neighbors had 2 dogs. One older dog that was fine. One younger dog who was fine, but was a dog. And, you know, I'd planted a little garden and the dog completely tore up the garden that I planted. And, you know, the neighbors were nice. It's not like we didn't get along, but, you know, we probably got along because I wasn't like, what the fuck, assholes? Like, your goddamn dog tore up this garden. I don't know. Are you gonna like say like, oh, sorry or whatever? And what happened too was it was kind of funny. So originally we had neighbors downstairs who had a dog, but they moved out very shortly after we moved in. And I think there was some kind of like, you know, collapse of a romantic relationship happening there. And long story short, when they moved out, there was some kind of weird situation where they left the house and we were pretty sure they were like leaving the dog kenneled like all day. And this came to a head when I went on a trip, and so I was gone for like a week. And Poonmaster Flex was home and was like, I think this dog has been... Ah, shit. I think this dog has been left here for like several days in a row, uncared for. And she was like... So one night, the dog was like howling. And, you know, this was part of how we knew. I mean, when you share a wall and a floor and a ceiling with somebody, you know more about them than you might intend to. It's not like we were real interested in our neighbors, but we knew things about them. And so the dog was howling, and she was like, it was going on for so long this one night. She was like, I swear to God, it started to sound like I think the dog was talking. I swear the dog was saying, help me, or let me out, or something. She was like, and I was like, I'm going crazy, and I can't, what am I going to do? Call the police and be like, the dog down below is screaming for help. But anyway, the dog survived. What the hell just happened? What? How do I continue from where I was? What is happening? I don't understand what's happening. Back. What did I do? Okay. I don't know what I did, guys. I must have pushed a button that I did not intend to push. Is a chair gonna come and pick me up? Okay, great. So anyway, the dog survived. At least survived into, moving out. Who knows beyond that. This is kind of like, sometimes, like, I would like to have a pet, but also, I can kind of understand why landlords are not into it. I mean, like, lots of fucking people are real irresponsible with their pets. And, you know, it's just sort of like, I don't know. You gotta believe, at least I gotta believe, if somebody is leaving their dog just locked in a kennel for like 3 days, they're probably not like super on top of like the general taking care of the dog, right? Well, that was a pretty easy one to get the stuff. I guess, you know, let's attribute that to, I don't know. It was a chairlift level. What are you gonna do? All right. Yeah. Shit. But then our second neighbors moved in. They were much nicer, but they got this puppy and it tore up the yard. So anyway, a ticket came in the mail for the parkway. And so then the landlord was like, well, you guys need to take care of the parkway. And I was like, okay. Are you going to buy us a mower? And she was like, no. She was like, you could buy one. They're not expensive or something. And I was kind of like, this is the kind of thing that, you know, fucking annoys the shit out of, well, me, but everybody. Any sane person. Because you're like, I mean, I guess, could we make the same argument if a lawnmower is not expensive that you could buy a mower? But I think it was her inexperience as a landlord. And the reason I say that is because it's like, well, here's what's going to happen, though. I mean, you're going to get tickets because she was renting. It was a very college-y neighborhood. And I was like, I mean, if you're renting to tenants in this neighborhood, they are not going to come with a mower. Ain't nobody coming here with a mower. We weren't unusual in that way. I was like, I think you'd be very unlikely to find someone who has a mower. And, you know, as a renter, I'm like, yeah, I mean, why would I have a mower most of the time, right? I don't need it. Come on. Okay. Oh, God, my controller is really giving me a hard time today. Shh. Pausing, unpausing. Thinking I need to, like, exit to the menu. Not going well. Okay. Good Lord. Trying to tell a story about a mediocre landlord. But anyway, I was kind of like, I mean, shouldn't you buy a mower? Because, like, what are your tenants supposed to do here in the future? So we got a mower because basically we didn't have a choice. She was like, well, I'm going to add the ticket to your rent or whatever. And it was like, all right, fine, I guess we'll get a mower. So we mowed the lawn. But here was the other thing. We probably would have been slightly more inclined to get a mower had we been in a situation without our downstairs neighbors having dogs. Because the thing is, they tore up the entire backyard and all the grass, but also they took shits back there, and the neighbors didn't exactly pick up after them all the time. And so I don't know that the thing is, the yard was shared, right? That was the thing. We shared the yard with them. That was like in the agreement and whatever, which was fine. However, I was like, well, how come we share the yard? And honestly, they're getting a lot more out of it than we are because they have dogs. But we have to buy the mower. Like, we don't share the front yard, just the backyard? Or like, is it that we share the responsibility for the yard, but we don't share the yard? Like, how does this work in your mind, lady? Holy shit. Son of a gun. So, you know, that was a bunch of bullshit. We bought a mower. And then, you know, when we were leaving, I was like, do you want to buy this mower from us, you know, for future tenants? And she was like, no. She was like, you could just resell it to somebody. And I was like, okay. And, you know, I hope in, you know, the darkness of my soul that this was a really inconvenient situation for her. Because it was just like, it kind of sucked. And like the way that she handled it, I wasn't a big fan. Oh, fuck. And also, I was just sort of, I was pissed on behalf of like the future tenants. Because I was like, hey, you know, we offered to sell her this lawnmower that we'd used for one summer. And we were going to sell it to her like at cost. You know what I mean? We weren't going to make a profit from it. It was like, well, how about you just, here's an idea as a landlord. Do you want to reimburse us for the money we spent on this lawnmower? Nah. And I was like, okay. And so anyway, that was the other thing that kind of made me think like, I don't know. And so when we were moving out, when we moved in, we moved in March. So it was like 2 months before we tried to turn on the AC. And when we go to turn it on, just like air blows in, but it was clearly not cool at all. And I was like, I don't understand. I've had the AC running like all day. Nothing's happening. So Poonmaster Flex did it because she was a grown-up. And, I'm a moron. But she was like, no, you're right. This doesn't work. What was that tiny little bird? She was like, this actually doesn't work. You're correct. And I was like, all right, cool. So we called the landlord and we're like, hey, the AC is broken. She was like, no, I told you that there was a hookup for AC, not that there was AC. Oh, God. And I was furious, because I was like, this is fucking stupid. So we went to Walmart like that night. It was so hot. And this house was so hot. Just the way it was built or something. It was a fucking oven in there. So we went to Walmart. We bought a window unit and, just lived with it. But so then a little bit later, it was when the lawnmower came. Whoa. What? Oh, God. This is going to be bad. What is it with Super Nintendo and extremely hard snow area levels? This is giving me Donkey Kong Country flashbacks of horror. I mean, this is kind of fun that I'm skiing, but... Oh, we should talk about skiing on here, huh? That was a really long time to think, like, I might die. Oh my God. Ah, shit. Oh, shit. Why does this have to be so deep? Why do I have to fall for so long knowing I'm doomed? Alright. Let's try that again. So when this lawnmower discussion came up, or I'm trying to remember what this was now. I think she was like telling us, oh, I remember now. It was when we were moving out the following year. So we spent a year there, and then I was like, I hate it here. We gotta go somewhere else. And we actually went back to the old building I was in, and we did the living together apart thing. We had 2 separate apartments in the same building, which was an arrangement that I fully endorse. It was kind of funny because, like, some people thought it was weird, but I think the most consistent feeling on it came from people like middle-aged couples who seemed to think it was a great idea. Like particularly like people whose, let's say, their husband retired. They weren't retired yet, and their husband was driving them fucking crazy, puttering around the house all day. And they were like, oh, it would be amazing to have a separate house. Or, I suppose, I'm going to guess that, once you're a little older, shit! Same fucking thing. I'm going to guess once you're a little older and you've spent some time together, you're like, spent some good time together. Like, I think that's enough. Boy. I'm like vaguely remembering this part as being one that was really difficult for me to get through. This is not the kind of thing where I shine. It's like getting the feel of the controls is difficult for me. Because this is like a little different than the normal controls. Anyway, we did the apart together. So when we were moving out, I had a little bit of a battle with the landlord. Because she was like talking about, that we needed to pay for a cleaning crew to come. And I was like, first of all, that's not in the lease. Secondly, when we moved in, we started moving boxes in. And then, to my horror, I was like, we're going to have to clean this we have to move everything back into the truck and clean this entire place because it was filthy. It had like a sunroom porch thing. It was real shitty. But that and then the front room just like reeked of dog pee. I was like, whoever lived here before. I was like, I wonder if the downstairs neighbors lived here before. Because holy crap, did it stink. Oh, what the fuck? I fell down the same hole in a different way. Now I wonder if you have to hit that real late, or if I have to hit it short, or hit it too early so then I have time for a second jump. I don't know what the plan is there. Look at Mario's little winter hat. That's great. That I like. It's like the redeemingest factor of this stage. Oh my god, this is such an impossible one to get all the stuff. Anyway, so she was like, you gotta hire a cleaning crew, and I was like, when we moved in, we spent like 4 hours cleaning before we could move in. I was like, the refrigerator had stuff spilled inside of it. The entire floor was covered in dirt. And I was like, the front room smelled like pee. You know, there's just nothing. Damn it. I think you got to do the late jump. And in the bathroom, under the cabinets, we found, and maybe in one of the closets, between the different rooms of the house, the vast estate, we found 3 pairs of underwear. Like, 1 or 2 had been crammed under this cabinet in the bathroom, and there was like one somewhere else, and I was like, I'm sorry, but we're not paying for a cleaning crew because we're leaving it much nicer than we came. We also replaced the blinds because the blinds were disgusting. They were like paper, and they were stained and filthy and just horrible. And Poonmaster Flex actually replaced all of them. So I was like, look, we replaced the blinds, and we cleaned the shit out of this place when we got here, and it needed it badly. So go fuck yourself. We're not paying for a cleaning crew to come and, do... and she was like, oh, that's, crazy. Like, the cleaning crew was supposed to do this and whatever. And I was like, well, listen. One of 2 things is happening here. You didn't hire a cleaning crew. Or you hired a cleaning crew, but you didn't check their work. And so, like, if you didn't check their work, that's not my problem. You know what I mean? That's your problem, right? Because I would not have accepted this from a cleaning crew if I paid them to clean an apartment before tenants moved in. So certainly you shouldn't as a landlord, but whatever. So then we moved in apart together into the building, and it was the same building I'd lived in before, former school building. So it had like industrial style air conditioning, which was delicious and wonderful. The one problem was it was a big building. And you know how these big buildings, it's like, well, they can't turn on the AC until they turn off the heat, right? Like, it's not like your house where you can just flip a little switch and be done with, oh, fuck yeah. And just be done with it, you know what I mean? It's like a little bit more involved somehow. I don't know. I don't know technicalities of this stuff, but there you go. Oh, please let this be the end. Yes! Yes! Yes. It's gonna be painful if I only miss the one flower, because I know where it was. You gotta just make that correct jump on the ski slope. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's better. So, sometimes, like, this time of year was always rough. And it was so funny. This is the boss that I could never beat before. I had a really hard time with this boss when I was a kid. Sluggy the Unshaven. Let me tell you, it's no picnic to be greasy and to have the need to shave. It's just not cool. What is that? What is happening? I don't know what happened in there. Anyway, So, you know, the hard part of living there, the only hard thing was the AC wouldn't get turned on right away, because they were like, well, we can't turn off the AC or turn on the AC till we've turned off the heat. And this usually resulted in a yearly petition. It was funny because almost the entire building was populated by grad students. So I think I felt this feeling of, these are folks who are used to having like a voice in their life, how life works and stuff. It seemed like they were used to like, you know, if I talk to the university and say like I'm having this problem and so on, like they'll listen to me and we can probably work on a solution together. But you know, the building was like, go fuck yourself. I mean, they were nice about it, but they were just like, listen, we can't turn on the AC until we turn off the heat. And in Colorado, you can't turn off the heat to a building in April. Like, because we could have a blizzard. And if it goes below, 20 degrees or something, we can't have the heat off. So deal with it, I guess, was kind of the thing. Then we moved into this place, which is pretty good. The AC works, and the landlord, my God, talk about an improvement. Here, our first summer here, the AC stopped working, and it was like horrible flashbacks to the other apartment. He looks so sad about like, hey, what happened? It was flashbacks to the other place of like, like, oh shit, the AC doesn't work. Oh my God, there's AC here, right? But this time we called our landlord and he was like, oh my God, like, I'll call someone right away. And he called and a guy came out like the same night. And then we had AC again. And I was like, all right, that's how this is supposed to work, right? In a normal human society. I see a red coin down there. What is this? Oh my God. No. Fuck you. But even so, one of the fatal flaws of this place is that, so the bedrooms are on the upper floor. There's an upper floor and a downer floor. And the bedroom, it's like your classic 2-bedroom condo setup, right? The upper floor is quite a bit warmer than the lower floor. What is this little guy? And so, the problem that leads to is like, you set the AC, and it's like the thermostat is downstairs. Downstairs is genuinely pretty nice, and upstairs can still be quite hot. I don't like that. I mean, like, on my, like, absolute, like, what I would love to have in a house, I look at the houses that are, like, basically the entire house is garden level, as my past apartments have been, and I'm like, that's the way to do it. Like, where the house is half buried into a hillside, I'm like, that's genius, and I don't know why every house isn't like that. That's gotta save you so much fucking money on your utilities, right? Cold and hot. And the one thing that I found is LL sunlight. Ladies love sunlight. They're like, oh, but what about the light? There's not much light in a place like that. And I'm like, yeah, who cares? Like, what are we doing? We don't need that much light. I don't know what people are doing with their time. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, but I could be. Oh my god, that was close. I would have felt so dumb if I died right then for a stupid red coin after I'd skipped some already. That would have been a big MFing mistake. MFing. Man. This is like a really challenging castle to get all the stuff, I think. This guy is great. Wow, wow. Oh, thanks, buddy. I can't tell if this guy is pro me or anti me. He seems like he's kind of on my team. I mean, he's helping me out. I guess the big question is whether he knows it, or if he's just going about his business. There are certain things in the Mushroom Kingdom, the Mushroom Kingdom, that kind of operate that way, right? Where it's like, is this thing just doing what it would normally do on a Tuesday? Or is it like behaving differently because I'm here? Wouldn't that be mean if it went away? Oh, shit. Well, at least that guy just runs. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Ho ho. Got like a different head clearance level than I would have necessarily thought. Anyway, that's most of my rental sagas, I guess, and air conditioning sagas. I think it's kind of a weird thing to, so Poonmaster Flex lived in Oregon, and we were going to move out there for a while, and that didn't happen for reasons. But it seems like it's not super common to have air conditioning out there, which is, I feel like, what it was like in Colorado when I was a kid. And I'm not gonna say like global warming or whatever because I don't fucking know enough about it. And also, I do feel like with climate change, I mean, I totally believe in climate change, but also everyone's like, there's a difference between climate and weather. And I think everyone understands and believes that until they're talking about the point they want to make. So if I'm somebody who doesn't believe in climate change, then I'm like, yeah, there's a difference between climate and weather, so it being warmer doesn't mean anything. And, then somebody else is like, okay, well, it's warmer. Yeah, climate change, duh. Whichever way you want, whatever you want it to mean is what it ends up meaning for most people, and that really bothers me. Okay. Shit. All right. I have not improved. Oh, shit. Shit, shit, shit. Shit. I didn't do much better than I did as a child. I got him a few times. Okay. I have a full thing of eggs. I think the key here is to just go in the exact same spot. Even if it doesn't look like it's gonna hit him in the heart. I love that this guy doesn't make you listen to his stupid speech again. That's great. That's a winner. Alright, let's do this. Remember when I said what the key was? I ask because I clearly don't remember. Ah, fuck. What the hell? That took like 100. Did I make it? I think I was about to get pushed off the edge there. Look at his little shoes. His toes are just on the... Mario is over the abyss. Seems very unsafe. This is very unsafe. It doesn't seem unsafe. It is 100% unsafe. I didn't do too bad. Huh. Okay. Here we go. Well, that's all the time I have for video gaming today. I hope this saves. I'm going to assume it's like normal Mario rules and like, jeez. I keep dropping this and I'm like, how come this doesn't work very well, this controller? I'm hoping it's Mario rules and like, once you've beat a fortress or castle, you're like, good. So we'll see you next time for, you know, perhaps another thrilling tale of landlords.